YouTube. Today I'm at Dunblane station and I'm going on an adventure. This is going to be the longest and most ambitious cycling Lost Lines video I've done yet. I'm taking 3 days, taking a couple of days off work. I'm cycling from Dunblane to Crianlarich via Killen Junction. So this is going to be quite an adventure. So you can just see that bridge abutment in the distance there. What this is, what we're about to come on to, was the Callander Oban Railway, which was opened in stages from 1870, leaving the Caledonian Railway main line at Dunblane, and it went through to Callander via Glenogle, via Crianlarich, and eventually reached the sea at Oban. In 1965 this part of the line was closed and trains to Oban were diverted from Crianlarich. They came off and went down the West Highland line to Glasgow, but previously they would have come up here. So we're going to follow this line and see how much of it is cyclable. But yeah, the Dunblane end's pretty much all built over. There's nothing there to see. So this structure here, that's kind of the first sign of it that I've seen. There's a bit of a embankment and cutting further back, but it's been pretty much obliterated up to this point. But from here there's a path which we can cycle on. So I've come to Kelty Bridge, which is just outside of Callander. This track here, which is a farm track or a quarry track, is basically following the track bed into Callander. So basically Doon is that way somewhere. This is, I think it's a quarry or something in there, so I don't want to go in there. But this is where it comes out. So I've been following the A84 thus far. So if I turn around, try to do this on my bike. So this is the line going into Callander. There's a little dip here, but we're going to follow the line into Callander. Cycle path we've come along pretty much on the railway. However, beyond here it's all been obliterated by housing. So I'm going to cycle along to where the station is. We'll see you there. So this is cool. We've just passed over this bridge, which I'm assuming the railway's come under here. It's over, I don't know, it may have been filled in underneath, but this is coming in this way, and that's looking towards the station back that way. Yeah, that's very much being filled in, but the other side of that's somebody's back garden, so I can understand why. That's a cool find. The nameplate on the top says John Arrell, Engineers, Edinburgh. So was he related to William Arrell, I wonder? So this car park then is where the railway station would have been. So I think this is the point where we should go and break for lunch. So we have now left Callander, or we are leaving Callander, and we're on our way to Strathire, which is where our campsite is, following this footpath. See, it's hard to see through the trees there, but that's there's kind of a bridge abutment there. So this is the Falls of Lenny, where the railway would have crossed the river. So the track bed is now on the far side, but we need to carry on further up this bike trail to actually meet up with it. So I've just come down to the river bank to give you a better view. So having crossed the river further back, further downstream at the Falls of Lenny, Lenny or Lenny, as is in the comments, you can see the bridge abutment here. The railway has now recrossed the river, so it's back on the same side as the bike path. It's day 2, it's raining, but there is bacon and there is tea. So I'm in Strathire, and this is Old Station Court, which is just housing nowadays, but this is where the old station used to be. So I'm going to go around the back of here and see if we can find the railway. So this is the actual track bed which is running down the back of these houses. So this direction is Callander. Let's go. So we'll come along this path from Strathire, but we turn around. I think that's the track bed is going through that gate and on into the woods there, but the footpath's taking me up onto the road here. So let's see where this goes. We diverted onto a multi-use path back there, which ran alongside the road for a bit, and then it's come back off the road, and now I think we're back on the track bed. So we're properly on the railway now. So we're here at Balquhidder. The path, you can see the green line is the path we're on. That's just come off the railway up this hill for now. But Balquhidder station was basically down the bottom of that hill, where there's a campsite, and that's where the junction was for the line that went to Loch Earnhead, and beyond that to Comrie and Crieff, because the line we're travelling is going up this way. So I've come across this building. I don't know whether this is an original railway plate layers bothy or if it's just some bird watchers huts, but I don't know, going by the concrete on this, it looks quite old. It's a bit icky inside. It's just stuff full of rubbish. It's make a nice little den if it was all cleared up, but I think some people have come over here and just left all their crap. That's an interesting little find. I wonder if that looks like a chimney up there. This bit here, so there's maybe been a stove at some point. It's quite a cool find. Further back down the line, I didn't get any video of it, but I wasn't sure if it was a station, but there was 2 cottages and there's what looked like a station platform edge. I'll put a photograph of it up here, but I'll have a read when I get home and see if that was actually a station or not. But this is lovely. Look at this scenery out here. But there's a lot of cuttings, a lot of bridges along this section. So I imagine the cost of building this line would have been quite steep back in the 1870s. So that, yeah, when you read the Wikipedia page out of it, it cost a lot of money and went over budget and was delayed. So nothing's new. And the line diverges off further down here. To the right it goes back the way we came, to the left it's going down to Killin. And I'm back at Killin Junction, having cycled down to Killin and back, which I'm going to put into a separate video. So yeah, it's a fairly steady gradient down to Killin, so nice and easy going down the hill, not so easy coming back. From here it's pretty much a straight line to Crianlarich, so I'm just going to keep the rest of this in this video. So onwards to the campsite. Hi, it's Steamboat Willie here. So, following the journey west from Killin Junction, the battery ran out on my GoPro, but I continued towards the Glendochart campsite, which is on the side of what used to be Lewis station, and my battery pack that I was using to charge both my phone and the GoPro was by that time also out of battery itself, so I wasn't able to charge the GoPro to film any more of the line from there to Crianlarich. So the rest of the video is going to be in the form of a photo slideshow, but I'm going to show you on the map where we went. So we've come from Killen Junction, which is here, following the line on through. Basically it turns into farm track at this point. It certainly felt a lot longer in real life than it looks on the map. Somewhere along here I came across another platelayer's hut, which was constructed of old sleepers but with a brick fireplace, which is quite a curious wee structure. Beyond that, there were a few trees across the line which I had to kind of drag the bike over, which was a bit of a challenge. I then came across a bridge that was missing, so I had to take the bike across the river just using stones as a sort of stepping stones to take the bike through the river, but eventually reached the campsite, which as I say, that used to be the site of Lewis station, where I stayed overnight and got some photos of the sort of platforms and the structures that remain. There's a bridge there as well. From here the line would have crossed the A85. The line pretty much disappears into the undergrowth at that point as uncyclable, so I carried on by bike towards Crianlarich. Once you reach Crianlarich here, there's a bit of a path behind these cottages where the line used to be, and it passes underneath the magnificent steel viaduct, steel or iron, I'm not sure which, that takes the West Highland line over the river here. And you can see there's a bridge where the West Highland line diverts off onto the Callander Oban, so that trains from Glasgow now since 1965 can join the line to Oban. I'm not sure. Presumably the Callander Oban would have had their own station in Crianlarich. I'm not entirely sure where that would have been located. I suspect it would have been one of these cottages along the main road, with the platforms in behind. I would need to get the maps to confirm whether that's the case. But yeah, it's an interesting layout at Crianlarich. So the two tracks basically are sort of perpendicular to each other almost, with the Callander Oban going east to west, sort of towards Oban, and the former North British West Highland line going north to south. So that brings us to the end of the video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and click here for the next video, which is going to be the line down to Killen from Killen Junction. Bye for now.